DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to New Jersey Satellite Studio, where we show you the flavor of life here in the District of New Jersey.
Hey everyone, welcome back to INCRadio New Jersey Satellite Studio, where we show you the flavor of life. Today we'll go over and check in on how it's been going here in this year 2025. So for right now, we'll take a live report from our activity that's going on here in our district, here right there in Weehawken Park. Let's hear from you, Sister Maricel.
Hi, Karen. Good morning, everyone. I know Maricel is on location today, and we're so excited to see outside. It's not blazing hot. You don't look like you're melting. Good morning, Maricel. So, what's happening? Where are you?
Hi, good morning to all our INC radio viewers. Right now, we are at Weehawken Waterfront Park. And I have here with me Brother Murphy Thomas, CBI's advisor. CBI is the one that's sponsoring this activity.
So, CBI, hi, good morning, Brother Murphy. CBI, can you tell us what that means?
Brother Murphy?
Thank you. Yes, the CBI is the Christian Brotherhood International. It's a department inside the church, in line with also the CFO, or the Christian Family Organizations. Actually, it's a little bit older than the the Kadiwa and Binhi organizations, and this is the organizations regarding all students inside the church.
Oh, okay.
From
That's fun.
kindergarten all the way to college.
Wow. All right. I didn't know we have as young as kindergartners. So anyone who is a student, you belong to the Christian Brothers International group. Okay. So what activity is happening today, Brother Murphy?
The activity that we're having today, sister, is our bike and walk here at the Weehawken Waterfront Recreation Park. What we're doing today is just having a little bit of exercise and fun with the family on this perfect weather on Saturday morning. We were really praying for this one because we know that the past few days were hot, and God blessed us with fair weather today. Uh, so yeah, this is we're having a little bit of camaraderie and just a few walking around and taking pictures.
Of
Getting
course.
our miles full, right?
Of course, getting your steps
We're
in.
losing calories.
You're right, Brother Murphy. Earlier this week, we had temperatures of up to 40 degrees Celsius, which is 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So, quite unusual weather for our area. But, Brother Murphy, are you walking or biking today?
Well, today I'll be walking because I don't have a bike. But um, yeah,
Do you have a goal? Are you going to walk a mile, 2 miles? How long are you walking?
for the activity, the distance is about 2 miles one way, and then that would mean it would be a 4 mile walk. But I'm gonna try to go for 2 miles.
2 miles. So 1 mile in and 1 mile back. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Brother Murphy, thank you so much for joining us and letting us know that this is an activity open for everyone. If you want to stop by Weehawken Park, do you have any greetings or shout outs?
Yes, I would like to greet the whole district of New Jersey, to all the brethren, the families. We always, as a ministerial worker, you guys are always in our prayers. And to all of the brethren all over that are listening in, we thank you so much for your time. We would like to also give a shout out to the church administration our dearest Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, along with our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Iranio V. Manalo, for allowing us to have activities like this where we can join in love and unity amongst the brethren, and also to have activities that would increase our faith. We thank you so much, po, and we always unite with whatever project or any kind of call you have for the brethren. Thank you, po.
All right. Thank you, Brother Murphy. Okay. I know Sister Marisol is going to join us for our main discussion for the first part. So, Sister Karen, well, I was going to say, Sister Karen, why don't we go up to Weehawken? But that drive for you is like 2 hours.
Yeah, how about that? But I had a question before you guys go. So I see the track in the background. Is there also a bike trail nearby because it's biking and walking? So is there a bike trail?
There is a bike trail, Sister Karen. There's actually a lot of activities that you can do here. There's pickleball, there's tennis. It's like a very ideal spot for physical activity.
So it might be
Wow.
worth that 2 hour drive, huh?
Yeah, it might be.
Yes.
You can spend the whole day working out, Sister Karen. Hours and hours of fun before it rains. All right, so let's get started with our conversation. I know Sister Marisol needs to get her steps in as well and figure out where her family is. I don't know if they're biking today.
They're
So,
already biking, so I don't think I can catch up with them.
well, maybe when they come back around the lap, Sister Marisol, you'll be able to catch up with them. All right, so we're gonna ask you the first question. And then we'll ask you one quick one so you can go ahead and join everyone for the activity. So if you had to describe your year so far in one word, would it be? And this is also
In-
to our viewers. Yeah, think of one word. Um, Earlier in our pre-show meeting, Grace mentioned her year has been chaotic,
Aw.
which it happens, just not even looking at current events or the weather, but life itself, there's a lot of things happening. What about you, Karen? What do you have a word to describe your year so far?
I would say so far this year, it's been quick. It's been a lot happening, and I mean, if you look at it, we're already into July. We're about, July is what, this coming week. So,
Yeah,
I would say it was quick.
quick.
It was a
Yeah,
lot happened, but it happened quickly.
yeah. All right, yeah, that's true. Our year has been packed with lots of things. What about you, Marisol? Do you have a word yet?
Yeah, for me, I thought about it hard. I think I'm gonna describe my year. It's progressive, despite all the challenges. I think we are progressing in every aspects of our lives, and that's what we strive for, always progressing.
No, growth is painful, whether it's physical growth or mental growth or emotional growth is painful. I can't think of a word, so I'm gonna pass on this one. All right, we're gonna ask you one more question, Marisol. Karen and I will stay on to do the rest of the questions, but since you said your year has been hard, what is what has been your biggest win or highlight this year so far?
Again, I thought about this question too. Even asked for help, like, like the question is, what is the biggest win? And then I realized, when you say biggest win, it doesn't have to be like a really big thing that happened in my life. Like, I celebrate even the small wins. So for me, the biggest win so far, just having a good health, just being fit, staying healthy in all aspects of my life, that's a big win for me. Like, so far, half a year, no hospitalizations for all of us in the family. And at my age, I'm not taking any medication. So that's a big win for me.
Wow, that's awesome. Karen and I are gonna talk about that question when we get to it, but we wanted to give you that one. I thought you were gonna mention your your thriving side business. I see your post
Oh,
on
yeah,
social
yeah, yeah.
media. You
Yeah,
finally,
it is progressing too. I started, one of my goals in the beginning of the year is to really grow my online store, and as of now, it's grown 100%. Like, the number of items that I have on my store has doubled, even close to tripling if I compare it to the beginning of the year. So thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, you've been talking about this side business that you've been wanting to do for years on the show. So now I see your post. So congratulations on your
Thank
success.
you.
Yeah. All right. So before you go, do you have any shout outs or greetings?
Just to all our listeners and viewers, thank you so much for always supporting our show and stay on because I know Sister Karen and Sister Kaslea has a lot of nuggets, good nuggets to share to all our viewers. So have fun and stay listening to the show until the end.
All
Have a
right.
happy Saturday.
Thank you, Maricel. I hope you get your steps in and, no injuries today.
I'm getting some vitamins, vitamin D right now. Like I'm right here. The
I hope
sun.
you're wearing I hope you're
That's
wearing your sunblock to block those UV rays.
that's one of the best vitamins right there. That's sunlight.
Yep.
Vitamin D. All right. Thank you, Marisol. We'll see
All
you
right.
next
Bye.
time. All right. Back to our talk. I know this could get kind of deep, or we could be light. Let's see. What is one goal that you set at the start of the year, and how's it coming along, Karen? You have
A-
any goals you want to talk about?
As for me, Leah, no, I don't set goals anymore. I guess over the years, I realized that setting goals, you kind of like fall away from it around mid-March. You're like, you're so over your goal and you done changed it. So I kind of learned to just uh, like go with the flow. Whatever life deals, whatever comes about, I deal with it at that point. If I decide that I need to do something, then I just, work on it. So I'm setting goals, I guess you can say, throughout the year.
That's a different take. So you're not one of those people who set a goal like New Year's resolution? No.
No, no, it's too stressful. You kind of, it's like trying to keep up with the Joneses. You
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah,
So
no, it is overwhelming. It is overwhelming to first of all come up like you have to have new goals. I don't set New Year's resolutions either. And there my goal is always to be healthy. So I guess in that respect, it's like copy paste every year, every month, every day, every week.
exactly, exactly. And mine's is to make sure I'm continuously learning and growing, in every aspect of life, just at work, spiritually, with my family, just learning, you know, um interpersonal stuff. It's just constantly growing. That's me. Long as I'm, learning, I'm happy.
No, that's great. No, learning is important. It also staves off like early onset dementia, Alzheimer's.
And I'm getting
Yeah,
up there in age that I have to make sure I, you know, good care of myself.
I was gonna
And,
say,
and I'm like Maricel. I'm not on any medications. I thank God for that. I'm healthy. I mean, there are some things that I can work on, but I'll just do that throughout the year. And hopefully by the end
yeah.
of the year, I'll have some success.
All right. Well, you're not on medications because you're non-compliant, but because you're healthy enough not to need medications. I just want to make that clear. Some people are like, "Well, I'm not on but you probably should be."
Well,
You know,
I take multivitamins. I make sure I take
Yeah, that's
multivitamins.
not medication.
Yeah.
But
So,
I know some of our viewers are just like, I don't take medicine because I don't like it, but you should be taking it because it's good for you. So, but you're not taking medication because you're healthy. You take vitamins, take care of yourself. No, that's great. All right. So, what has been your biggest win or highlight this year so far? Do you have one?
um, I would have to think about that. I'm not sure. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
All right.
What about
So,
you? What about you? Your biggest win?
I had to think about this for a while. I actually started out the year not well. I had gotten, I don't know, uh like the flu, and it took me a while to shake it off. So I did not start off the year so great. So my biggest win so far is I'm healthy. Things are working. I'm feeling much better. And I also was able to report to my doctor that I always talk about wanting to see my abs, right. I talked about that, I think, for the last 3 years on this show, that I'd like to see actual abs, the abs that I can see, not to be outside and, showing them off. But we're getting closer to that. So I just want, I know no one can see it, but to report, the stomach is getting smaller. We're getting to the point where we're probably going to have to seriously do some crunches and some ab work to get those muscles to come out. But we're getting there. Maybe 5 more pounds, and we'll be able to see that. Well, I will be. You won't be, but I will be.
Well, that seems like that would be great success. It seems like you're having it.
Ah,
Good,
I know. I'm
good.
trying. I'm trying. I'm trying, and we're gonna talk about that. There are a few habits. We have a question about habits that I think we're gonna hit. So, um,
I think I can say my biggest one then is everyone around me been getting sick and I haven't. So I guess that's my biggest one, staying healthy this year. Which is good because I'm taking care, I'm taking care of people who are sick. So I have to make sure I'm healthy enough to be able to have, to be able to take care of them because I don't know how I'm gonna handle it if I'm sick and they're sick, then I have to call on my kids and
that's true.
ooh.
That's true. That's true, Karen. No, health when you're at a certain age is very important. I mean, it's important at every age, but when you're a caregiver, especially, it's a tough job. It's a tough job, and especially if it's, if someone's in a delicate condition, yeah, it's stressful, and stress can really make you sick. So I'm happy that you're healthy. I think we need to talk about those small wins. I mean, it seems like a small win. It's not like you made $1 billion, or your business made $1 billion, but if you don't have your health, you can't really have much else. So no, that's a big win. That's a big win. So congrats to everyone who is feeling good, doing well, even on their meds. Um, yeah, that's a big win. We shouldn't overlook that. All right, from the live chat, I just want to read off what Abe Evangelista has put in there. It's such a small thing to get things moved, removed, but it really pays dividends. He was able to. His biggest win so far was getting so many things boxed up and out of the living room. I can relate. I need that. That's on my list to get things boxed up. So we actually have a floor I can do my ab workout on. All right. Next one. All right. This is a good one. What is one habit or routine that has helped you stay grounded or motivated? Karen, do you have an answer for that one?
Um, I think for me, it was more so not worrying about the things I couldn't change. So, that's less stressful work. If I'm not worried about the things that I can't change, um, I don't have to, I can stay more focused on myself. I don't have to worry about what other people are doing. Like if it's, because I know I can't control anybody to do like a lot of times people aren't doing what they're supposed to do to put things in motion. So I had to learn how to work around that. And I think doing that and not worrying, not stressing myself of the things that I can't change, just staying focused on what I can change.
That's a great answer. I think a lot of people think that they can change people. I don't I have parents, spouses, friends. But the truth is people change if they want to change, right? I'm glad that you said that you can't force people to do things, even if you know that even if they know they're supposed to do something. So how just to get a little deeper, when that happens, how do you just say okay fine and then say, well, it's your life? Like, I'm sure it's sometimes it's disappointing or upsetting. How do you manage those emotions?
Well, it's kind of like if I know, like if someone have to do a certain thing in order for me to be able to continue to do the part I have to do. Sometimes I have to just work around it. Sometimes I just say, you know what, I know they're not going to do it. Let me just get it done so I can move on with mine instead of sitting there stressed about why, because I've learned that you cannot make people do what they're supposed to do. I mean, you can make a kid sit in the corner for a second, but you cannot make them sit and do, eventually they'll get up and you're like, why are you getting up? So it's you really can't make people do anything, and you can't change them. You can only change how you accept, or how you can only change yourself. You can only control yourself and how you deal with it. And I've learned that, and that has left me less gray hair, no gray hair, because I don't, I can't change it. So why am I going to stress about it? Just try to work around it, do my part, do what I can to be able to go on to the next point.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that's true. You, you can't, why worry about something you can't change that you're not in control of? No, I love that advice and reminder. Okay, for me, I have like in comparison to that shift in perspective, Karen, that you just mentioned, mine seems so small. But you know what I what has really helped me with my health goals, I will say this about, the road to visible abs is in the morning when I get up, I try to have definitely one glass of warm or room temperature water, which makes me feel energized because our bodies are dehydrated when we wake up, no matter how little or long sleep you've had. I try to double that to two in the morning before I put any kind of morning brew, tea, milk, whatever people drink in the morning. That's the first thing, and that has really help me feel energized. And it's like it's all about eating. My habits, my the habits that I've changed this year really are about eating. So I also try to eat protein, just protein first. My eating order: protein first, then veggies, and then I wait 10 minutes to see if I need any carbs. So we're in a low carb diet, which has helped me feel so much energy. Um, so that I'm not always constantly thinking about food. So that has helped me get closer to my goals. I know it's like compared to what you said, it's like, is that really life changing? But if you do it every day or multiple times a day, it really adds up. It's the little things that add up. So
Exactly. Even at work, there's a procedure that I do that's a 3 hour test, and people like 3 hours, 3 hours, but every 15 minutes they have to do something. It's something they have to do it's like a part of the test they have to do every 15 minutes. And then before they know it, and I try to tell them, you're breaking down this 3 hours to 15 minutes. And before you know it, they go, oh, that was quick. Yes, because you break in. So yes, little things do add up, and sometimes a lot of times it's the little victories, not the huge victories, because if you have enough little victories, they'll add up to that huge victory. So don't knock yourself for the little things. Those are things I'm working on too, changing my health, my eating habits and stuff. So I get you.
oh, thanks. Thanks for that. That's true. Even if you're trying to save, $1 a day, it all adds up. Even if you only saved $1.50, even if it's just for the kids, save change
If you
before
just
the
save $1 a day by the end of the year, how much you have? See,
right.
you never thought
Yeah,
about that.
$365. Right. Exactly. As long as you don't dip into that jar or wherever you're saving it, right? Yeah, no, it adds up. And if you put it in an account, it earns a little bit of interest. So, okay, here's an important one. What suggestions would you give to someone who has had unexpected challenges or detours in their goals for this year?
The advice I would give to them is to use those challenges and detours to help them grow. Everything that was invented, everything that was ever done, people made mistakes, they ran into challenges. You just don't give up, just keep going. There's a nice poem about not giving up. I think the author was unknown, but it was like the way it went, it was like just never give up, because you never know when you're right there you're at the peak of it. If you give up, it might have been that little inch that you or that little uh, maybe another a week or a month that you had to wait before you had success. So success is, failure turned around. You fell a few times. Even the invention of the light bulb, they felt so many times, but they kept going. And look what we have now. We have light everywhere indoors.
That's true. You fail forward, right? Fail forward. And
Exactly.
also I love redirection. I feel like if you have challenges or roadblocks, redirection sometimes can be a good thing because you don't know how God saved you by redirecting you or giving you a better future. So that's also
Exactly.
something to think about as well. We are almost out of time, Karen. Can you believe it? I thought we were
Wow.
I thought I thought we were gonna have so much more time. All right. So I'm gonna ask one last question. We're gonna skip ahead to the last question on our rundown. Looking ahead to the rest of the year, what's one thing you're excited to focus on? I will start. I am I am trying to get into running. So slowly I've been going to the gym. I've been, working out my creaky joints, trying to build up some muscle and some tolerance and getting my feet ready. Uh just trying to actually start running. And I don't mean running for like the bus. I mean like running on the track. I mean I run for the bus and the train all the time, but we're talking about trying to run miles
Run
just
around
to
that track we just saw, right?
yeah, run, not walk, because I can walk a track, but I want to run. So that's something that I'm excited to hopefully be able to do by the end of the year, at least run 1 mile without stopping. So that's we're setting small goals. So what about you, Karen? Do you have anything you want to talk about for this?
Uh, um, Looking forward, there are like some changes that I'm making in life, and yes, I think I realized too that being a caregiver, um, people say, people remind me to take care of myself. They're always, I am taking care of myself, but I know there's things that I can do more for myself. So my intentions is to spend more time for myself, on myself.
I love that. I love that you're a mom, you're a spouse, you're a grandma, you're also mom to our entire district. So Mama Kay always has wisdom to give if you need some. So no, that's a lot of people to take care of, Karen.
I
So
I just give people advice from a life experience of what I learned. And when I'm talking to the younger kids, I'm telling them these are the things I learned along the way. You know, and people think that because of your age you're supposed to know. No, you learn as you go along. Some people age and never really learn, never really interested in learning new things. I'm interested because you never know when and where you can use that and who you can give that advice to. Even when you're failing in things, you now have how did they put it, if you don't have a test, you won't, you have to have a test to have a testimony. If you once you're tested and you go through something, then you can teach somebody and show somebody, hey, this is how I did it. These are the things that the roadblocks I ran into. You want to avoid this, and then they can have a smoother path and run into something else further down the line. So it's just a matter of teaching them how to avoid some things along the line.
I love that. I love the mentoring nuggets that we're getting from you today. That's why I love having you on the show. You always drop first you drop the mic and then you drop a lot of wisdom on us. All right, but we have to fast forward a little bit in our rundown because look at the time. So, our tech, can you please give us the hashtag bumper? You're a fan.
Now announcing our hashtag winners.
Okay, so for our honorable mention, that will be Bayonne. Bayonne. Okay, and then third place will be Bergen.
Bergen. Wow. Okay.
Second place, Aston.
Second place. We know Aston's been on top for a while now. I'm not excited for this one.
I don't know. Now they're outranked by Philadelphia.
Whoa, this is
First
a
place
this
is
is a
Philadelphia.
conspiracy. You're just at Philadelphia, Karen, because you're from Philadelphia. I'm just kidding. Congrats, Philadelphia. You are on top from last week's show. Congratulations. All right, moving on. Is our next up is our activity update. Got that bumper.
Activity updates.
All right. So we have one big district activity to announce that is Unity Games on Friday, July 4. It's dodgeball and basketball edition. Mama Kay, are you going to be playing dodgeball?
No, 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 not
Because
this
I think you have very strong arms because you have such a strong mindset that you could really maybe you just you use your mental powers to dodge the ball or to get people out. All right. And of course, please always check with your local congregation for details on the local events and the daily Bible study schedule. All right. Next up, we have our CFO in action.
CFO in action.
In celebration of the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the local congregation of Elizabeth here in the District of New Jersey, brethren in the local congregation came together to hold a grand celebration at the Dr. Orlando Edrera Academy. The theme of the celebration was celebrating 50 years of God's faithfulness as brethren young and old joyfully commemorated this momentous occasion in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Happiness flowed through the event as brethren and invited city officials participated in a celebration full of food, awards, musical performances, and photo galleries. Inspired by this milestone event, the brethren in the local congregation of Elizabeth, filled with faith, hope, and love, continue to fervently uphold their promise to be active and to carry on the legacy of faithful service to our Almighty God. Led by the Assistant District Minister, Brother Ruben Bustos, the brethren in the District of New Jersey continue to be united in all the activities launched by the church administration. This was our CFO in action over the past week. From the District of New Jersey, this is Sister Marisol Dagotot. We'll have more on the CFO in action next week. See ya!
All right. Thanks for that, Sister Marisol. We have a few seconds. I'm going to read some names. Thank you for tuning in live. Mario Oka from Bixtonville, District of Caloocan North. Lionel Ornado from District of Washington, D.C. Brother Jaster from Baltimore, Washington, D.C. Darlene Tomas. Hi, I think we know who you are. All right, District of Columbus City, Laguna. Get Barrientos from Orange County. We also want to say hello and thanks for tuning in today. Abe Evangelista. Marisol was also on the live chat. Tamara Stevens and Jeff Fernandez. We can't read all these birthday greetings because we got to go, but thank you so much for tuning in. We'll try to read those for next week. And that's it for today's show. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. We hope you're inspired to talk about this topic with your friends. And if you found any value in our discussion today, please like and subscribe for more content like this. And if you have any other topics for us to talk about as well, let us know. Before we go, we'd like to thank our church administration for their continued support to INCRadio and allowing us to have this show where we can stay connected and learn together. Exactly what Karen said earlier. We're always learning. We want to acknowledge our Assistant District Supervising Minister, Brother Ruben Bustos Jr., our Christian Family Organization Overseer, Brother Royal Moline, and our District Multimedia Advisor, Brother James Malabanan. But we especially thank our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo Manalo, and our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Manalo. We'd also like to thank our INCRadio Station Manager, Brother Wally Tarai.
And before we say goodbye, we again thank all of our viewers for watching. And we hope that you get out and get some sunlight. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye, everyone. And don't forget to wash your hands.
This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ